How's it going, my evil residents? Resident Evil Requiem is just 3 months away, and since it is getting closer and closer by the day, and Capcom's marketing is getting 0% more exciting by the day, I figured I would just do a stop-in with you guys and find out what you guys want to see most in Resident Evil Requiem. I asked for your comments a few days ago, and I'm going to go through a few of them and just kind of respond to them. Pretty simple video today. Nothing too visual based, so if you just want to throw this on in the background while you're doing literally whatever else you want to do, hopefully nothing weird, go for it. I won't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into the video. Our first comment is from Professor Ditto. If there's an upgrade mechanic, I would love for it to be like in RE4, where each weapon was not a direct upgrade, but an alternative playstyle. Honestly, I 100% agree. As much as I like Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 5, grinding money to upgrade all of my weapons is never my favorite part of the game. I do like the getting the treasure aspect, but replaying the game like 4 times with no challenge other than grab all the money I possibly can, I just don't think it's that fun. Or like in Resident Evil 5's case, just save scumming the same gem over and over again until you have enough money. I just don't think it's that fun. I'm aware that it's supposed to be a long time goal, but I don't think Resident Evil kind of lends itself to long time goal replayability. It more so lends itself to multiple kind of bite-sized, difficult, but learnable challenges type of difficulty. And in those types of challenges, you're not playing through the whole game. You're going to be restarting to try to get the run that you want. You're not going to fail your run and then be like, okay, let me just waste 3 more hours. No, you're not doing that. And I think it conflicts a little bit with the design language of Resident Evil. Maybe a hot take on my end. This is not me saying I hate it. I don't hate it. It's just never my favorite part of the game. So if it's not there, I would be 100% fine with that. I much prefer the weapon part system over the upgrade, like pay money to upgrade system, the money for goods and services system. As long as they don't do what Village did and do both. That was way too much. Just, I'm a little bit nervous about how the inventory is going to be managed in this game, because when I played it, first off, it wasn't a live inventory, and I love live inventory. Absolutely one of my favorite things ever in Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 5, and it's not here, and I'm just like, no. But anyways, that is a totally different topic. RE7 has a very well-balanced inventory for the most part, but Resident Evil Village is probably my least favorite inventory in the series, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, and I really hope that they don't take too much stake from that into balancing this game. Our next hot take is from Jonathan Hand. Mostly, I hope it has gameplay as fun as RE4R when you're not in RE7 spooky mode. I also wish they would have followed up on the BSAA with Chris and Jill, but maybe they could still have Jill or other legacy characters show up somewhere. I 100% agree. I do not mind if they want to go for total tonal whiplash and just have there be straight up spooky walking segments and then just straight up suplex action style segments. I totally don't mind that. I think with how goofy and silly Resident Evil is, that this can totally work as long as they, write it properly. Because Resident Evil has always been kind of silly B-movie sort of storytelling and tone. So I think that you can blend the two very effectively. I think RE4 Remake proves this pretty well. Some of the segments in RE4 Remake are pretty spooky. Not quite as spooky as something like Resident Evil Village, but it shows Resident Evil Village then shows that they can go there if they want to. Same with Resident Evil 7. So I think they can nail this if they really do it right. But yeah, I 100% agree with you on that aspect. As far as the BSAA subplot with Chris and Jill, I 1000% agree. And if that is not touched on in this game, and it's not touched on in a Resident Evil Revelations 3 or a Resident Evil 10, it will be the biggest waste of potential in Resident Evil history. And I say that without exaggeration, because that plot line genuinely sounds so good, and it brings Chris's and Jill's arc full circle, because now they're having to fight against the institution that wanted to get rid of them, much like they did in Resident Evil 1, where Wesker, their leader, wanted to get rid of them and Stars, and Umbrella wanted to get rid of Stars. And now the thing that they built specifically to get rid of Umbrella and bioterrorism has been hijacked by others with bad agendas, much like Stars and Umbrella were, to get rid of them again. Absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. And if they don't take that, it's like it's there on a silver platter. If they don't pick it up at any point, or it's resolved in a file in some backwater ass corner of the map, I won't be that I will not be too happy about that. So I hope that we get at the very least a separate ways-esque DLC about it. But this could be its own whole game, and the game just takes place in the BSAA headquarters in some city that is being overrun or something. It would be great, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, I 100% agree with this one. Our next next one is from Jason Lopez. The Mercenaries for starters, but definitely more refined and at least built upon RE4's Mercenaries mode. Oh, and unlockable costumes, especially if they're silly. I would love Mercenaries to come back because of the perspective option that you can do. I think Mercenaries is going to be so good in this game if they add it. Please, Capcom, please add Mercenaries, please. You have all of these remake assets of characters to use. Just use them, please. But yes, if they are going to add Mercenaries to this game, please add costumes that are unlockable for the characters. Or like, if you don't even want to give them different loadouts like you do in 4 Remake or Resident Evil 5, at least just let me select a costume for any of the characters. Like, if I want to play as Grace with her Mega Man skin, this is just me making up a skin. If I want to play as Grace with her Mega Man skin, and I unlocked it in the campaign by collecting all of the Alyssa Ashcroft bobbleheads, just let me collect them, okay? Just let me collect them, and then let me equip the skin in Mercenaries, because, hey, it would be cool. And it's just going to encourage replayability, which is more likely to, you know, make people play the game if it's more replayable. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't do this in 4 Remake. It seems like the easiest change in the world. I'm not a game dev, but I feel like it's very not difficult to just add a menu to select a costume, and then when you load into the game, just write a line of code that says, if player selected this costume, load in as this player model. I don't know. I'm not a game dev. That could be much more difficult than I'm making it sound, but it would be such a great change, Capcom. Please just do that. And on top of this, just include characters that aren't in the game. It's Mercenaries. It doesn't have to be canon. If you want to make like a $6 to $8 DLC to add like whatever character, give me the character, a costume, a new loadout, a new map if you're feeling generous. I would be totally comfortable spending that amount of money on something like that because I do in fighting games and it's basically the same thing. So I would be totally fine with that. I'm going to interject here in the middle to talk about something that I want in Resident Evil Requiem that I think would work so well that the community has seen a lot of rise in enjoyment of, and that's add in a built-in randomizer. There's so many mods for basically every Resident Evil game by now to randomize the locations of the items, and it's so much fun. 1, to play it. 2, to watch people play it because it's so chaotic, and it really puts you on the back foot like you are when you first play the game, because the problem with replaying these games is you know where stuff is. So if you shuffle the items, you get that first playthrough like adrenaline rush back of being confused, and it's so good. And just building in a randomizer, adding an achievement for beating the game on randomizer mode, adding a skin unlocker, weapon unlock behind it, that would be great. That would be so fun. That's another like 2, maybe 3 playthroughs per person. I would play the shit out of a randomized mode. And then if you could stack the other challenges with it, like, can you beat Resident Evil Requiem without healing on the randomizer? And then you get 2 achievements at one time. Oh, that would be fucking awesome. But yeah, I just want to interject that. That's what I want in this game, is a built-in randomizer. The next one is from W555. I want a good replay loop. A long intro that is fairly easily skippable like RE3 Remake is fine, but no nonsense like 7 or 8. Oh my god, Capcom. Please don't make a 30-minute unskippable intro. I beg on my hands and knees. Please. Please, Capcom. It's why I don't replay Resident Evil 7 anymore. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle the intro anymore. Please. Please spare us. I have nothing to add to this. I just wanted to put it in the video in the hopes. I know no Capcom devs are watching me, but in the hopes that a Capcom dev sees this, please, at the very least, let the cutscenes be skippable. I forgot to check when I played the demo at PAX West if the cutscenes were skippable because, you know, it was my first time playing it. I wanted to watch them. If the cutscenes in the intro aren't skippable, oh my god, that's gonna be a nightmare. Our next one's from Switchboy2320. I want to see a return to the menu of RE7 where you have to manage your resources when the game does not pause. It adds a bit of strategy and tension that honestly hasn't been captured ever since, aside from RE2 Remake and RE4 Remake, which are different to RE7. Yes, finally, another live inventory appreciator. It's so good. It adds to the horror and the tension. It's just so perfect. And if the game also has action, it's not going to take away from the action because you have the hotbar with the D-pad. It's literally perfect. You do not like, oh my god. Capcom, please just add the live inventory if it's not in the game. I honestly don't remember from when I played it if it is or not, because there were no instances where I like really used my inventory if I wasn't like prompted to. I think I checked it once, but I don't remember if it paused or not. I really should have like made a note of it. I can't remember if it had it or not. But Capcom, it's not too late. At the very least, you could add it as a difficulty setting, like on professional mode or whatever it's going to be called. The inventory does not pause the game. That would be a great change for a hard mode. That would be awesome. Next up from Venomous VW2HD. As stupid as it sounds, I would personally want no weapon upgrades. I just really think not upgrading a weapon would suit the horror atmosphere. Now, I'm not talking about combining weapon parts, you're just talking about the upgrade systems from Ready 4 and 5. Yeah, I pretty much talked about this earlier, but I wanted to throw it in here again because if they're going for the horror action balance, I really just don't think it'll work, because the upgrading weapons thing really only serves to elevate the action end of the game, not the horror angle of the game. And if you add the weapon parts and the weapon upgrade system, it's just too much. I think it's too much. Like, it's still a little bit too much with the scopes and the stocks in Resident Evil 4 Remake. It's too much in Village. So, I don't know. I think they should just do away with that and just do the parts. And if they do add, like, buyable weapon upgrades, have us just buy the parts and then be done with it. And, like, have some parts be bought, some parts be found. I think that would work perfectly. That would be 100% fine. Yeah, I just wanted to throw this one in again because I think it's really important that the game doesn't have this, because I just don't think it'll work very well. I think it's just going to feel really obtuse with the mix they're trying to go for. Our last one is from Cody Stevenson. Jiggle physics. Yes, 10 out of 10. Bring it back, please. This is why we really want Leon in Resident Evil. This is why we really want Leon in Resident Evil Requiem. Not for any story or character purposes. The jiggle physics. Anyways, his actual one. Enough of Raccoon City to explore so it feels like a proper city, without being overwhelmingly large and impractical to navigate with lots of obnoxious real-time loading zones. Games like to use hide map area loading cheats / modifiers like Halo Skulls, and lots of challenges and achievements for playing with specialized requirements and restrictions. Okay, you lost me a little bit in the last half. I don't know if I'm just like stupid, but I don't really understand what you're saying. The main thing I want to talk about with this though is the enough of Raccoon City to explore that it feels like a city without being super large. As someone that, when I heard the leaks a few years ago that Resident Evil 9 would be semi-open world, and immediately played the I'm out 1.3 seconds meme in my head, I really hope this game is not semi-open world. Now, not totally linear world design works very well for Resident Evil. I mean, it's built off of exploring a mansion and having like 3 different paths to take, but they have to be tailored, well-designed paths with intentional options and design decisions. If you lean too much in the open world aspect, you're gonna lose the horror element, because horror is something that has to be kind of crafted in a video game setting. It's very rare for it to happen naturally. I think the only game I've really seen horror sort of naturally happen is in like one of those like friend slop games like Repo or something like that, and it comes from interacting with your friends, less so the actual game itself, more just like your friends and the game. It's the mix of both that makes those games a little more scary. That sort of thing doesn't work with Resident Evil with the type of game it is. And every other time they've tried to make it open world, it doesn't work. Like, this is a horrible example, but in Resident Evil 3 Remake, in the only like non-linear city section, the design of it is technically non-linear while still being linear. But the way they designed the world is so free-flowing that you can just avoid so many enemies. Like, if you always take the apartment side, you will only ever encounter like 4 zombies. And that's literally it. Like, that whole like death intersection with the cars and the car with the Kevin Ryman Easter egg. That area is such a death trap, and you can just totally avoid it by just going the other way. The game never encourages you to go that way. It's literally just, you can go both ways if you want. Like, there's no reason to go in the donut shop. There's technically no reason to go in the apartment. So it's just go in the apartment every time. There's no trade-off. Yeah, the other has a save room. There's a save room a block away because the area is so small. So it doesn't even matter. And because of these design decisions that they made with a game like that, I don't know how it's gonna work. And then I know some people are gonna say, but then you have the village chapter around the lake in Resident Evil 4 remake. And if I'm being completely honest, that chapter, in my opinion anyway, is not that interesting, because it's like collecting items, backtracking to collect items, and like a hallway fight. That's all that chapter is. And then there's the boss fight at the end. That if you cut out the driving around on the boat, that's all the chapter is. It's just collecting treasures, fighting down like one hallway, and then fighting a boss. That's all the chapter is. It's a very basic, and like it's very much inflated by the boat driving, which I do like, and it is fun. But on replays, it's like, okay, I'm just kind of getting all these so I can get my exclusive ticket before I get to the castle, aren't I? I don't know. I don't trust Capcom to nail it as well as it needs to be nailed, because every time they've done it in the past, it has some sort of glaring problem that I really don't like, and they haven't fixed it super well since then. So I guess we'll see how this goes. But yeah, I just wanted to put this in because I agree with it. Like, I want it to feel like a big city, and I want to feel like I can actually, like, you know, go more than like 2 blocks in any direction. But if they make it too big, it's just gonna feel like Resident Evil The Division or some shit like that, and I'm just gonna be like, I'm good. I don't want any part of this. I'm fine. I don't play Resident Evil for open world. So yeah, those are some things that you guys commented that you want to see in Resident Evil Requiem. Let me know if you guys have any more. Leave them in the comments. I do read all my comments, so I will see if you comment them. We can all have a little discussion, debate with each other. Just be nice. Just be nice. I'm looking at you, buddy. I'm looking at you. Yeah. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. If you liked it, drop a like. If you disliked it, feel free to dislike it. Just let me know why in the comments. We do have channel memberships starting at just $2. Literally $2. If you would like to support me more directly, obviously, no pressure to do that. But if you would like to, the option is there. There's also a video request here if you would like to do that. Speaking of memberships, shout out to all my members scrolling on the left side of the screen right now. The Epic Rager, One's One Up, Casual Mode, Mal Plays, and Stoop Kid. And a super mega extra special shout out to my malevolent residents of the channel, DD Teepus TTV, Aircromp Cromer, Rosemary, and Tim Just Me Really. Yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Stay evil, my residents.